All right, welcome back to the hangar. So finally getting back out here and doing some stuff on the F-22. Last video, I kind of finished up all the leads, or I was working on the leads. They're all done and labeled. Then I hopped back over to the wings here. I was pulling out the old harness and putting in, basically just pulled it out, and I had to put an extension, or just a real short one from for the aileron servo to get the aileron lead. And what I'm doing, still got to put one on here, but so I did a male and a female. That way, since I don't have any ash locks, you know, if I had all three of these in one, you know, the front flap, rear flap, and aileron, if I had them all back here, I'd probably use an ash lock just because it's easier and cleaner. But since I have one up there and then the two back here plus the light, you know, I'm just going to plug each one in. It doesn't take but a few minutes or a few seconds to do each plug, you know, get it all plugged in, and then you just slide the wing together. So that was what I was doing. Finished that up, and then I went back and I put the covers on. Did a little bit of shaping to get removed, because you'll have to do that on yours because they don't make these perfect. And to get full throw, a lot of times you'll have to trim them. This one was actually a little short from their cut, so that kind of sucked that I didn't get to cut it. And you can kind of see the little notch there, so when it's full up, it kind of gives it the ability to go full up. And that's about all those flaps you really need. It's such a big wing, it slows down pretty very nice on its own. It's kind of a draggy plane when it's all dirty. But so that's all done. Ailerons, I went back and I used different screws, removed some of the old ones. I just been putting these BVM button head panel screws everywhere now. Same thing up front for the leading edge servo covers. So it's all done, and I put the amp meter on and was checking the flap, because I had one that was really stiff because they didn't put the hinging in properly, so it kind of, you know, it basically wanted to spring back to the up position. So when you put the flap down, it's obviously a little bit more torque. But I was showing worst I could get would be like half an amp on it, assuming that little amp meter is right. But I don't think it's anything to worry about, and that's at the full down position where it's hitting. And I'll go through and I'll check the other ones I need to check are the rudder. That's what I recommend, is once you get these, when you start your trial fit, you know, you put the servo in, kind of get it lined up with the shaft the best you can, and then put the rudder on, hook up an amp meter, and go back and forth and see if you're getting any kind of binding, and then keep adjusting until you get a low amp draw when you're moving the rudders. Because for whatever reason, they can't set those properly. I mean, you know, they're in there at an angle. You'd think they could just easily do the CAD work to where that piece, the wood piece in there, is at the right angle. Because not only do you have to go up and down, you have to worry about an angle this way, and you have to worry about it this way because of the angle. Because you can look, and what you kind of line it up on is basically the holes here for your rudder tubes, or you can use the little piece there. So, but anyways, I digress. So that's all done. Now I'm gonna put everything on it, the wings on it, and then I'll start plugging everything up. I got to come up with how I'm gonna do this one, because if I remember correctly, I ran out of channels really quick, and I ended up having to use one of these. The problem was when I used the gyro before, and it seemed to mess up the MPDX1. Like anything I had plugged in here, it would kind of go in and out of failsafe. So hopefully That's not an issue, but I'm going to plug the fail-safe or the gear controller into the actual power system. Maybe put like canopy open close, canopy lock, possibly some lights in here, turning the lights on, because you need, I swear, man, this light controller is ridiculous, because you need like four connections. It's really weird. Between, if you don't have the slime lights, it's pretty simple, but with their light controller and these slime lights, you need like 3 ports. It's ridiculous. Anyways, but so that's where I'm at. I'm going to start installing. I'm going to go ahead and put the pumps and hook them back up. Put the UATs in, and then I need to put the ends on this. I'm just kind of waiting to see, what CG is going to look like. That'll probably be one of the last things I do is put the male and the XT60 lead on here. And this goes to the hub. So this is the turbine battery leads. They're nice and thick because they're going to be a long run. And that's the problem, especially with these are 132s. You could technically do a 7.4 LiPo, but I was never able to do that with this. Sorry about the fingers, guys. I'm using my phone. With the turbines in the rear, on a 7.4 volt, I was having hot starts, and the engines wouldn't start. So as soon as I jumped up to the 9.9, they would start just fine. And that was because of the voltage drop issue. I think anything over like a 100 size should probably be on a three cell life or 3-cell LiPo. You can't use a 3-cell LiPo on the 132, so you have to use a life pack. So I'm at 9.9 volts. I did do a little different this time on this one. I do have shorter hub to motor leads versus having my hubs. I think my last one, my hubs were, forget where they were. They were up here under the canopy. So you had that long of a lead from the hub to the motor. But Gaspar said, it should have worked, but he's like, never gave me any solution. And then he ends up going with a different lead material because of voltage drop. Go figure. Never listens to me. But that's old news. So that's a bit of a change. I have shorter ECU to hub leads, and I'm going with a longer, thicker battery from battery to hub. So it shouldn't be an issue, but I'm still probably, I might actually try a 2-cell and see how it goes this time, because I'd much rather put a 2-cell in there than a 3-cell life. But I typically needed the weight versus putting 2 pounds in the nose. I was using, bigger batteries. So I might still do that. We'll see. But anyways, I'm going to go through hooking everything up. And this is the part I hate, is hooking all this junk up. The problem is, like I mentioned before, is you run out of channels really quick with a Futaba. And I know you can get the 32 channels using those boxes and using the multi-prop channel, but it's just a pain in the ass. And then it starts messing. I don't know what it does to the resolution. It messes with things, makes things glitchy. You obviously can't put any full resolution servos in there and expect to handle it. So it's for things that don't need a lot of amps. So canopies, bomb doors. I gotta do canopy lock, bomb doors. So I'll have 2 bay doors. We'll go in there. So that'll pretty much get most of this, and I can get like 1 light. I might put the light in here if I can get it in there. And then that'll free up here. I did choose the model with 4 flaps, but I'm probably gonna change that because I'll S-bus match the 2 leading edge. I can't talk today. Too much turkey this weekend. I'll S-bus match the 2 leading edge flaps, and I'll probably do the same to the 2 rear flaps, and then actually have all 4 servos on 1 channel. That's the beauty of S-bus. So I'll match individuals, make sure I'm getting the same travel, same endpoints for all 4 in the servo, and then I will put I'll put 1 channel for flaps, and that'll save me 4. because I can do that because I can limit. I might have to do 2, but I typically can limit travel on these 2 because these only go, the leading edge don't go very far. The trailing edge, they travel quite a bit compared to the front. Some people don't even use them, especially because I don't know what it is about this jet. It doesn't sit that low to the ground, but the wings do kind of have a curve to them, and it seems like you always scrape right here. Like I don't know how many times I fixed and repainted the tip on the other one, and I never saw an instant where I touched. It's crazy. I don't know how it happens. So this one, I'm actually going to have less air in the rear, so they'll be compressed a little bit and keeping the nose a little higher to kind of help with that. Plus, it'll help rotate because the tires are so far aft. It's a big pivot point. So, and that will hopefully help take away some of the need for a longer rolling takeoff, distance for the roll. Plus, I'll add a little toe in on the rudders. But yeah, so I'm gonna get back to it. Really not much to make videos of at this point other than like little update videos, because it just takes so much time programming this stuff to do something live is kind of a pain. But this is the second one I've built, so it's, if you need to know something specific, chances are one of my other videos in the past have covered it. So kind of take a look at those if you need some tips for hits or need some information, or shoot me a post it in the chat box below the video, and I'll respond. So anyways, you guys have a good one. I'm gonna get back to it, and y'all have a good day. Cheers. Don't forget to subscribe, give a thumbs up, thumbs down, leave a comment.